Okay, I want you to picture something for me. You're walking down the street. It's a normal Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But you aren't just walking. You're performing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to smile at the exact right angle. You have to walk with a specific, confident cadence. Because if you stop being interesting, if you stop being a character for even a second, you don't just lose followers or get canceled.
You die.
You die.
It gives a whole new terrifying weight to Shakespeare's line, all the world's a stage.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because in the world we are cracking open today, that metaphor is a literal threat. It is a lethal reality where performance is the currency of survival. If you aren't entertaining, you are prey.
And the critics in this world, they are literal monsters, immortal, beautiful, golden-blooded monsters who will, eat you alive if you bore them.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are unpacking a world that is one part psychological thriller, one part dark fantasy, and fully a theatrical nightmare.
We are looking at a stage set for Villains by Shannon J. Spann.
In this book, wow.
This book is dense in the best possible way. It's got a magic system that messes with your head, a geography that is physically split by trauma, and a protagonist who has, arguably, the worst possible superpower for a world built on lies.
She physically cannot lie.
Cannot lie in a world of actors.
He's just the worst combination.
It's like being allergic to water and deciding to live in the middle of the ocean. It's an impossible situation from page one.
So here is our mission for this deep dive. We aren't just going to recap the plot. We are going to dissect the mechanics of this world. Specifically, this terrifying magic system called craft.
And we have to. It's so integral to everything.
We're going to analyze the geography of fear that splits the society in half. And we are going to look at what happens when an immovable object, the truth, meets an unstoppable force, the performance.
And we should probably warn everyone right up front. Buckle up. We're dealing with deathless arts, a building that eats people, and a whole lot of teeth.
Teeth. We're definitely going to have to talk about the teeth.
Oh, yes.
But let's start with the map. Because in a lot of fantasy novels, geography is just scenery, mountains here, forest there. But in a stage set for villains, geography feels like destiny.
That's a great way to put it. It's not just a setting, it's a character in its own right. The world is called Theatron.
Which, obviously, not subtle.
Not subtle at all. Comes from the Greek for theater. And looking at the maps provided in the source material, it is physically and spiritually split right down the middle.
You have the North and the South, but this isn't like a civil war North and South where they are just different political zones. This is almost like two different realities.
Completely different realities. It's a clash of ideologies that has been carved into the very land itself.
Right. So let's start in the North. If you woke up in the North of Theatron, what's the vibe? What's the first thing you'd notice?
The silence. It is bleak. It is gray. But it's not just the weather, it's the culture. The people here, the Northerners, live in absolute constant terror of the ruling class, the players.
And this terror shapes their architecture. I was reading about the mirrors. Tell me about the mirrors because this freaked me out.
This is one of those details that establishes the horror immediately. It's such a brilliant piece of world building. In the North, you cover your mirrors.
All of them.
All of them. You drape cloth over them. You don't look at your reflection. It's considered reckless, even dangerous, to leave a mirror uncovered.
Why? Is it vanity? Is it religious?
It's survival. The superstition, which, spoiler alert, turns out to be very real, is that the players can use mirrors.
Use them how?
They can hear prayers whispered into them. They can spy through them. And worst case scenario, they can physically travel through them.
So a mirror isn't a piece of furniture. It's an open door to a monster's house.
Exactly. It's a security breach in your own home. Imagine being in your bedroom, changing your clothes, and you have to keep the mirror covered because if the cloth slips, a 7-foot-tall golden-eyed god might step through and kill you for being uninteresting.
That creates this atmosphere of constant low-level paranoia.
Absolutely. It's a panopticon where the guards are these narcissistic, immortal beings who could be watching you at any moment.
And think about what that does to a person's sense of self. If Riven, our main character, hasn't seen her own reflection in years, how does she know who she is?
That's the psychological toll.
Yeah.
You become disassociated from your own image. You are just a body trying to survive. Riven mentions she doesn't even know what she looks like anymore, really.
Just that she feels wrong.
She just knows she feels wrong. She describes her own skin as translucent and alien. She has no external reference for herself, only this internal feeling of decay.
And music, too. I got that detail. Music is banned in the North, or just frowned upon.
Not just banned, feared. In our world, music is celebration, right? It's joy, it's community.
Sure.
In Theatron, music heralds the arrival of the playhouse. It's the theme song for the monsters. If you hear music, it means the circus is coming to town and you need to run and hide.
So the North is this silent, reflectionless, gray place where joy is suspicious.
Any form of performance or art is seen as an invitation for the players, so they've suppressed it all. It's a culture built on the absence of expression.
Which stands in total contrast to the South.
Oh, the South is a whole different ball game. It's manic. It's called the Coast, or Koilon. This is where the revelers live.
And these are the fans.
These are the fanatics. They don't fear the players. They worship them. They are the ultimate stans. It's a culture of complete and utter adoration.
But it's a toxic fandom.
Oh, it's lethal. It's the most toxic fandom imaginable. They follow the playhouse as it moves around the country. They offer jewels, wine, food.
And sometimes more.
Sometimes they offer their own lives just to be noticed, just for a moment of a player's attention. It's this gluttonous, colorful, desperate existence. They are desperate to be part of the show.
It sounds like celebrity worship taken to its absolute darkest logical extreme.
That's exactly what it is. It's the idea that if you get close enough to the fame, maybe some of it will rub off on you, but usually you just get eaten.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, and sometimes, literally.
And separating these two distinct mentalities, the terrified North and the obsessive South, is a physical barrier.
The cut.
Right. What is the cut?
It's a massive trench filled with dark, churning water, and rising out of it is a wall. But it's not just stone. The mortar is sealed with Eleutherian gold.
We need to put a pin in that term, Eleutherian gold. It sounds fancy, but it's practical.
It is the most important substance in the book. It's the Chekhov's gun. In this world, the players are effectively immortal.
How so?
You can stab them, burn them, drop them off a cliff. They heal. They use their magic, their craft to suspend the reality of their death. They just decide not to be dead.
But Eleutherian gold.
That stops the healing. It's the only thing that can harm them permanently. It disrupts their craft. It makes them mortal again.
So this wall, the cut, isn't just a border. It's a weapon.
It's a containment field. It was built 500 years ago to keep the monsters in the South.
A treaty was signed.
Right. A treaty was signed by the Playhouse director at the time, a figure named Salinas, to keep the players contained. But that treaty is about to expire.
Which is the inciting incident for the whole story.
It's the ticking clock. The peace is about to end.
But there's a gap, a neutral zone.
The district of Dionysus. It sits right in the middle, like a bowl between the two sides. It's a sort of no man's land. And this is where our story kicks off. The Playhouse, this massive, moving citadel, has returned to the district for the first time in years.
A casting call.
For a casting call, which has thrown the entire district into chaos. Riots, panic in the streets.
And the panic in the district is palpable. I want to talk about the 3 compliments rule. Because this, to me, sold the horror of the players more than any actual violence.
It's so disturbing, isn't it? It's such a small detail, but it speaks volumes about the psychology of this world.
Yeah, it's a survival mechanism taught to children.
It's something kids in the district are taught in school. Like, we are taught stop, drop, and roll. But instead of fire safety, it's ego safety.
Walk me through it. I'm walking down an alley and I run into a player. What do I do?
You don't run. You don't scream. That makes you pray. You freeze, and you immediately offer 3 compliments.
Just any 3 compliments.
No, specific ones. They have to be good. Your eyes are like the sun. Your performance was transcendent. Your grace is unmatched. You have to flatter them.
And this works.
Usually. The players feed on adoration. It's literal nourishment for them. So if you feed their ego enough, they might feel benevolent and let you walk away. It reduces human interaction to this transaction of flattery.
It's like throwing a steak to a tiger, except the steak is your own dignity.
Exactly. And if you stutter, or if the compliment feels fake, if they sense you're not sincere,
You're dead.
you're dead. Because being insincere is boring, and being boring is the ultimate crime.
That sets the stage, pun intended, for our protagonist, Riven Hesper.
Yes.
She is not a reveler. She is definitely not a player. She is a survivor from the North.
Riven is a fascinating character because she's defined by her trauma. She's the daughter of the Peacemaker, a councilman who was murdered by players 10 years ago.
So she has a personal grudge.
A huge one. But her scars aren't just emotional. They are very, very physical.
Let's talk about the poisoning, because she is not doing well when we meet her.
No, she is actively dying. 10 years ago, she tried to save her brother, Galen, from a player. She was just a kid, but she had a golden knife, her father's knife, made of that Eleutherian gold.
So she fought back.
She stabbed the player, which is unheard of, a child stabbing a god.
What happened?
She hurt him. But when she did, the player's blood splashed on her. And player blood is gold, and it is radioactive with magic. It's poison to mortals.
It infected her?
It poisoned her. And ever since, for 10 years, she's been slowly rotting from the inside out.
The description of her condition is visceral. It's body horror.
It really is. The text describes her skin as fish belly white and translucent. You can literally see the veins underneath.
What?
Her hair's falling out in clumps. Her nails are gray and brittle. She looks like a walking corpse. She has to wear heavy makeup, these thick paints, just to look remotely alive.
And the healers, doctors?
They can't do anything. The saying is, a mortal cannot fix what an immortal broke. The magic is too powerful, too alien. It's a wound that can't be healed by mortal means.
So she's on a clock.
A very short one. She knows she doesn't have much time left.
But the poisoning isn't the only thing that marks her. She has a tattoo. A brand.
The Eleutherian brand. It's on her collarbone, a swirl of that same magical gold. A lot of people in the North have it, her brother Galen included. It's a protective measure.
Like a magical vaccine.
In a way, yeah. It's an anti-magic tattoo made with that special gold ink. Its primary function is protection.
Against what, specifically?
It blocks craft, player magic. If a player tries to use mind control on you or an illusion, the brand heats up and just nullifies it. It's a shield for your mind.
So it's a good thing. A powerful advantage.
It is, but, and this is a huge, but it has a side effect, a cost.
The truth compulsion.
The marked cannot speak a lie.
I want to dig into the mechanics of this because I feel like we often see truth tellers in fiction and it's treated as a quirk. Well, I'm just brutally honest.
Right.
But for Riven, it's a physical restraint. It's not a choice.
It's violent. It's a physical cage. If she tries to say, I'm fine when she's in pain, her throat closes up, her tongue locks in her mouth. She physically cannot form the words of an untruth.
Think about how much social lubricant relies on lying. Nice to meet you. I love your dress. I'm not angry.
Riven loses all of that. All of it. If she hates you, she either has to stay completely silent or look you in the eye and say, I despise you. There is no middle ground.
She has to navigate the world with half-truths and strategic silences.
Which makes her the absolute worst candidate for an undercover mission.
The absolute worst. And yet, that is exactly what she does. She decides to break into the playhouse.
The one place she should never, ever go.
Why? If she's terrified of them, if she hates them, why go in?
Desperation. Pure desperation. She is dying. The rot is getting worse. She hears that the director, Silenus, has a book called The Script.
The Script.
And supposedly, this script controls reality within the playhouse. It dictates the roles, the scenes, everything. She figures if it can control reality, it can write the poison out of her blood. It's her last wild hope.
So she's planning the heist. Steal the book, cure the rot, get out.
Simple plan, impossible execution, because to get the book, she has to go through the players.
Let's talk about the antagonists, the players. Because they aren't just a species. They are manufactured.
That is the dark secret of the world. Players aren't born, they are made. Every single one of them was once a normal human.
How does that happen? How do you become one?
You win a casting call, you audition, and if you get the part, you have to fight the current holder of that role to the death on stage.
So you have to murder your predecessor.
You kill the monster, and in doing so, you become the monster. It's a gruesome, bloody cycle of ambition.
And once you turn, you change.
Instantly. You stop aging, you become breathtakingly, supernaturally beautiful, your blood turns to gold, your eyes turn gold, but you lose something fundamental.
Your humanity.
You become hollow, that's the word they use. You're just a vessel for the performance. Your old self is gone.
Who are the big players we need to know? The cast list, so to speak.
At the top, you have Silenus. He's the director. He looks like a kindly old grandfather, but he is ancient and terrifying. He holds the leash. He holds the script.
He runs the show.
Literally. Then you have the lead player, Jude Stefaros.
This is our main villain.
Our main antagonist and, complicated love interest. He is the golden boy. He's got this chaotic rock star energy, wears way too much jewelry, incredibly charismatic.
But Jude is interesting because he didn't kill for his role.
Right. That's his secret shame. He was an understudy. His mentor, a player named Gene Hunt, died in a stage accident, a freak accident. Jude just inherited the role.
So he has this massive imposter syndrome.
A huge one. He's never actually won a death match. He's the lead player, but he's terrified he's not good enough to keep the title.
Then we have the horrors, Titus and Mattia.
The tragedians, yes. Titus is the wolf. He's the muscle. Big, brawny, loves to hurt people with his hands. He enjoys the physical violence of it all.
And Mattia?
Mattia is the snake. She's the oldest player in the cast. She's lethal, elegant, cold, calculating. Even the other players don't mess with Mattia. She is genuinely feared by everyone.
And the comedians. Which I assume doesn't mean they tell knock-knock jokes.
No, in this world, comedy just means a different flavor of horror. It's more psychological cruelty than physical.
Okay.
You have Arius, who's called the Dove. He looks angelic, he's soft-spoken, but he uses his voice for compulsion mind control. He was a healer before he turned, and now he's a master poisoner.
So he corrupts his old life's work.
Exactly. And then there's Parrish.
I'm not ready for Parrish.
Parrish is nightmare fuel. She's the mouse. Small, bubbly, energetic, acts like a hyperactive teenager, but she collects teeth.
I'm sorry, she collects what?
Teeth. Human teeth. She keeps them in little jars. She likes to pull them out herself. She is sadistic in a very gleeful, chaotic way that is maybe the most unsettling of all.
Okay, so Riven walks into this House of Horrors.
She does.
The playhouse itself is a character, isn't it?
It is. It's not just a building. It's described as a set piece.
Yeah.
It's alive. It's a labyrinth. Corridors that don't make sense, rooms that appear and disappear. There are even shadows that are guarded by a monster called Nixine.
You can't even trust the dark.
You can't trust anything. And
Yeah.
Riven sneaks in during the chaos of the casting call.
And she immediately makes a mistake.
A heartbreaking one, a completely understandable one. She runs into Salinas, the director.
And Riven, remember, is in agony.
Constant agony. Her ribs are rotting from the poison. She hunches over in a wave of pain just as Salinas turns to her.
And he misinterprets it.
He sees this girl hunching over and thinks she's bowing. He thinks she's showing respect, showing ambition. He mistakes her pain for submission. So he assumes she is an auditionee. And because Riven can't lie, she can't say, "No, I'm a burglar here to steal your magic book." She's trapped.
She has to play along.
She has to pivot. He asks for her name and she panics. She gives a fake name. She says her name is Alistair Hunt.
Hunt, as in Gene Hunt, Jude's dead mentor.
The very same. It's like walking into a room full of Beatles fans and saying your last name is Lennon. Every head turns. She instantly puts a massive target on her back without even realizing it.
But she pushes forward with her plan. She finds Jude's dressing room. She's looking for the script.
And instead, she finds Jude.
And this scene is the pivot point of the book.
It changes everything. He catches her trying to steal from him. She does the only thing she can think of. She pulls that golden knife, her father's knife, and holds it to the throat of the lead player of Theatron.
A mortal threatening a god. Dying mortal at that.
Jude is shocked, not just by the knife, though that's part of it. He's shocked that she resists him. He tries to use his craft to charm her, to compel her to drop the knife.
It doesn't work.
It bounces off her like water off a duck, and that's when he sees it. The faint golden shimmer of the brand on her collarbone.
He knows she's marked. He knows she's immune.
His first instinct, and the correct one for his own safety, should be to kill her instantly. A marked intruder is a massive threat, but Jude is desperate.
Because of the great Dionysia.
Right. The festival is ending with a duel to the death. Jude has to fight the winner of this casting call, and Jude is convinced he's going to lose.
Why? He's the lead player.
Because he never won the title in the first place. He thinks someone is rigging the game against him, that his mentor's death wasn't an accident, and that he's being set up to fail. He needs a way out of the fight.
So he looks at this girl, this skinny, dying girl who hates him and just tried to rob him, and he sees a loophole.
A beautiful, perfect loophole. He proposes a bargain, a deal.
What's the deal?
He will force her to be his contender. She will enter the competition, not as a real contestant, but under his banner, as his champion.
But she's dying. How can she fight in magical death matches?
That's the beauty of his plan. He doesn't need her to win the final fight. He needs her to eliminate the other contestants during the trials.
Okay.
His plan is that Riven will get through the trials, with his help, and become the last contender standing. And then, right before the final duel against him is supposed to begin, he will reveal to everyone that she is marked.
Which disqualifies her.
Exactly. It's against the rules. If she is disqualified, the finale is canceled. There's no one left to fight him. Jude remains lead player by default. He wins without ever having to draw a sword.
That is diabolically clever.
It's pure politics.
Yes.
He uses her as a pawn in his own game of survival.
And what's in it for her? How does he get her to agree?
He offers the one thing she wants, a cure. He shows her he can do it. He takes a magical salve and heals her broken, rotting ribs right there on the spot, just to prove he has the power.
Merit.
And he promises to fix the poisoning completely if she helps him keep his crown. The stick, of course, is that she's locked in the playhouse now. He won't let her leave. She has no choice.
So Riven is trapped. She is now a contestant in a lethal talent show, bound to a man she despises.
And she really, really despises him. There is this great moment where he asks her something, and she just says flat out, "I hate you."
Because she can't lie.
Not because she's trying to be mean, but because it's the truth and she has to say it. And Jude's reaction is incredible.
He loves that.
He's fascinated. He is surrounded by sycophants and worshipers. Everyone else kisses his feet. Here is this girl who looks him in the eye and says, "You are a monster." To a narcissist of his caliber, that is a new flavor of attention. It's intoxicating.
Let's talk about life inside the playhouse now that she's a contender. Because Riven isn't alone. There are other contestants.
Right. It's a classic Hunger Games setup, but far more psychological. You have the other human contenders who are actually trying to win the role.
Who are they?
You have Thyone and Phileas, these creepy twins who are definitely too close and speak in unison sometimes. You have Tig, who is ambitious and ruthless and was chosen by Silenus himself. Leonos, who is quiet but intense. A whole cast of them.
And what Riven notices is that as they stay in the playhouse, they change.
Yes. The ambient magic, the craft is affecting them. They're all bound to the playhouse to compete, and it's seeping into them.
Also.
Their eyes start getting gold flecks. They become more vicious, more performative. They are losing their humanity in real time. They're starting the transformation into players already.
But Riven
stays fish belly white. Riven stays human because the mark on her collarbone rejects the magic. It acts as a filter.
So while they're becoming monsters, she's staying herself.
She is the only real person in a room full of people becoming monsters, which makes her an outsider, even among the outsiders. She can't connect with them because she's not on the same path.
And the trials themselves, they're not just fencing matches.
No, they're bizarre and deadly. The first one is training in reality suspension.
What is that?
It's the player ability to ignore pain and injury. They have to learn to essentially convince themselves that death isn't real, even as they're being stabbed in training. It's a mental game.
Which must be impossible for Riven, who is a walking bundle of real physical pain.
It's her greatest weakness. She can't suspend a reality. She is so brutally stuck inside.
Now we have to talk about the arrow, because the threat isn't just internal. There is a resistance.
Yes. There is a legendary player hunter out there named Dorian. He's the Van Helsing of this story. No one knows what he looks like, but he has spies everywhere, and his goal is to eradicate the players.
The scene on the roof is so chaotic. They're having a party. It's decadent, over-the-top player nonsense. And then thwip.
An arrow out of the dark. It catches Titus, the big invincible wolf, right in the ankle.
Not a normal arrow.
And a Lutheran gold arrow, the one thing that can hurt them.
And he screams.
He screams, a real genuine scream of pain. He bleeds gold all over the marble rooftop. And Riven watches this, and it shatters her perception.
How so?
For 10 years, she thought these things were gods. Invincible, untouchable. But seeing Titus hopping around, cursing, bleeding, it humanizes them. Not in a they are good way, but in a they can die way.
It makes the heist feel possible again. It makes them seem vulnerable.
It changes the power dynamic completely. But Jude's reaction is drastic. He realizes they are under siege, that Dorian's people are closer than he thought.
So he moves the playhouse.
He does, and this is such a cool visual. The building itself isn't static. It's a machine.
How does it move?
It sinks into the earth, generates this massive illusion of fog and chaos, and essentially teleports. They move from the neutral district of Dionysus all the way to the deep south, to Koilon.
Into the heart of player territory, Reveler Central.
Exactly. He moves them to their home turf to escape the attacks.
So Riven is now hundreds of miles from home, trapped in a moving castle with no allies, surrounded by fanatics who would tear her apart if they knew where she was.
The isolation is total. She is completely and utterly dependent on Jude now, whether she likes it or not.
I want to pause here and really dig into the magic system craft, because you mentioned earlier that craft costs. What does that mean?
This is the core theme of the book, I think. Magic isn't free energy. It's an exchange. To use craft, whether it's compulsion to control a mind, or reality suspension to ignore a fatal wound, or mimicry to steal someone's face.
They can do that, steal faces.
Oh, yeah. Jude does it. He impersonates a costume designer at one point, changes his face and voice completely. It's terrifying. But to do any of that, you have to give something up.
What do they give up?
Memories, emotions, morals, humanity. Every time a player uses a significant amount of craft, a piece of their old self is consumed as fuel.
So the more powerful you are, the less you is left.
Exactly. They call it being hollow. The players have traded their souls piece by piece for the ability to dazzle the crowd. That's why they are villains. Not because they were born evil, but because they have surgically removed their conscience to make room for power.
And this contrasts perfectly with Riven. She is physically rotting. She thinks she is ugly. She calls herself a corpse. But inside,
She is solid. She is whole.
she is the only one who hasn't sold anything. Her curse, the inability to lie, means she is anchored to reality in a way no one else is. She's the only one who can't perform.
It's the central conflict, truth versus fiction. Jude is the ultimate actor. He lies constantly, he can mimic voices, he can change his face. Riven is the ultimate truth teller. She can't even offer a polite lie to save her own life.
And yet they are bound together. There is a craft binding between them. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Jude has to share some of his power with her so she can survive the trials because her mark blocks the ambient magic of the playhouse. This creates a psychic link.
What does that mean?
They start to feel each other's emotions. She feels his fear, his panic. He feels her pain, her hatred. It forces a kind of intimacy on them that neither of them wants.
Which is wildly inconvenient when you hate the person you're linked to.
Or when you start to realize the person you hate isn't exactly who they pretend to be. Riven starts to see the cracks in Jude's performance. Through the link, she sees how terrified he actually is.
He's not just a monster. He's a scared monster.
A scared monster who's in way over his head.
We're coming up on the end of our time, but I want to touch on the script again. Riven goes in thinking it's a cure, a medical textbook.
Right.
But listening to you describe Salinas and the way the players are made and the title of the book itself, I have a feeling the script is more than that.
Oh, it's definitely not a textbook. The hint is in the title of the book. A stage set for villains. If the world is a stage, the script is the thing that tells you where to stand and what to say.
It's literal. It's a screenplay.
It controls them. It controls reality.
So the players, they might be powerful, but are they free?
That is the big question, isn't it? That's the aha moment for Riven. She went in looking for a cure, but she's discovering that these gods are terrified. They aren't gods at all. They are prisoners of their own performance.
Salinas holds the book. Salinas directs the show. The players seem less like gods and more like puppets with very nice jewelry.
Exactly. They traded their humanity for immortality and power, but they also traded their free will. They're stuck in their roles.
And Jude is improvising.
Jude is going off script by trying to rig the competition. And in a stage play, the actor who goes off script is usually fired, or in this case, killed.
So we leave Riven on the precipice. She is trapped in the South, surrounded by monsters who want to eat her soul or kill her. She's bound to a lead player she hates, and she's entered into a competition she cannot win without forfeiting her life or her mission.
And the curtain is just rising. The first book sets up this incredible pressure cooker. You just know that when the lid blows, it's going to be messy.
What is the big takeaway here, aside from don't trust guys with gold eyes?
I think it's about the masks we wear. We all perform. We have a work self, a home self, an online self. This book asks, what happens if the mask gets stuck? What happens if you perform so much you forget who you are underneath?
And Riven represents the uncomfortable, ugly, painful truth that refuses to be smoothed over for the sake of the audience.
She's the ultimate reality check. In a world of beautiful lies, the ugly truth is the only thing that can save you, or get you killed, or maybe both.
That's a powerful thought. As you go about your week, think about that. Where are you performing? And where are you telling the truth?
And seriously, if you see a mirror ripple, run.
Just run. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep your eyes on the exit.
And never, ever look the villain in the eye.